my name is Jascy-Leigh Edom and I'm doing my final year of Masters at Rhodes University, and I practice my artwork by using a lot of found materials, things that are not traditionally found in the art studio, like tea, spices. I use that as my medium to paint. So I would say that I draw a lot of inspiration from movements like African Conceptualism that actually makes use of found materials and materials that relate to the subject matter that they're working with. There's a lot of wood carving and a lot of intricate mediums that can come into play, like wire and gut, that are not like traditional art making tools, but that are now brought into the art space. So that's what inspires me. So this body of work is titled Family Tree, and it comes from me celebrating the maternal lineage of my family. And in my previous answer I spoke about how I like to connect the subject matter to the medium. So for me, tea was a very maternal symbol of love and care and comfort. So I used tea to paint portraits of the women in my family and to show how they've affected my life up until now. So I grew up with a lot of very colorful characters in my life, a lot of interesting women. So I got to see womanhood explored through a variety of different lenses, and I just felt like that gave me a very strong perception of the world, and it made me a lot more receptive to people of different walks of life. And it also, from a young age, there was nothing that was inherently feminine or inherently masculine. It was just people being people, and the maternal figures in my life had a large influence on me. So I wanted to amplify that and share that, because it's something that can so easily go unnoticed. So the medium that I particularly love to work with is tea. I paint with tea. I create little images out of tea, and it comes from that maternal connection, and I wanted a symbol of something that made me feel those feelings again of comfort, and sometimes even just like having a conversation with your grandmother after coming back from university. It's always over a cup of tea. Sometimes it gets annoying because you have to make 10 cups of tea when you're back home for holidays per hour. So it just became a large symbol of familiar love and just comfort, and there was a lot of intricate stories that started coming out while I was doing the work. So that's why I chose to use tea, because of all of the emotions that it evokes for a lot of people, especially people that have like lived with elders in the household. You know that they drink a lot of tea. Intersectionality is related to people existing in different facets of life. And these women, that's how I saw them. They existed as protectors, caregivers, mothers, but they were also sisters, they were also drag performers, they were also prostitutes. There was a whole lineage of women that all came together in the effort to raise me and had a large influence on my childhood. And all of them, there's been lessons and there's been care. So I just felt like that whole concept of everybody just being who they are and still being able to raise a child with love and comfort and all of the things that a child needs. Yeah, I think that perfectly illustrates what a woman can be in the broader scheme of intersectionalities. I think that's, well, it's not something you can predict accurately, because there's so many emotions that can be evoked from people. And I think just the different stories that people come to me with, like when I've exhibited this work, that's always been incredibly inspiring. And a lot of people talk about how the family structure looks different for everyone. So I had people telling me about how their family picture when they brought it for family day was their mother, their grandmother, and them. And that was one of the images in my artwork. So those little anecdotal stories are always nice to hear and nice to see that that's what it evokes in people, but you can never know.